Hey folks, McFarland here. I'm going to give you a Lake Fork rundown for the end of the week. Friday, July 24th, yesterday, and Saturday, July 25th, today. As always, let's go over lake levels, clarities, and water temperatures. Okay, the lake level 402.29. That's the end of the week. You can see that the beginning of the week, okay, last Saturday was 402.51. And the beginning of the week, 402.44. 44 to 29 is just a couple of inches. Okay? In the whole entire week, the lake has only dropped a couple of inches. That's pretty awesome and very unusual for summer. The weather has been very unusual for summer. In fact, this whole entire 2020 season with the COV and everything else going on in all of our lives has been very unusual, to say the least. 1 to 2 foot visibility, that's still staying the same. And this morning's water temperature is 86 degrees, 86.3 when we came off. No warm trend there. Major cloud cover the past 2 days. A little bit of scattered thunderstorms and whatever. The last 2 days have been really, really tough. I mean, for summer, I just don't normally experience that tough of fishing. We had a big change. The weather was coming from the south, southwest, southeast, but south dominant, predominant winds, very mild for several weeks. It's now switched. In the last 2 days, for the last 48 hours, it's been east and northeast. East in the summer, sometimes. Northeast in the summer, pretty unheard of. Don't know whether it has something to do, and it obviously does have something to do, with this tropical storm coming in, and the way that it's coming, it's pulling things down from the north and the east. So it was really nice for us. It was a really, really cool morning the last 2 mornings. Not chilly at all, but a little more comfortable than we're used to at the crack of dawn. Burning off by midday, the afternoon, the sun is back, and the fish really start to bite again. So it went from a morning bite to an afternoon bite just like that. The morning bite with an east wind is awful. The last 2 days have been a terrible grind. In fact, yesterday I offered a half-price comp on their next trip. It was that tough. We struggled so much yesterday at the end of the trip. I told them the next time you book, it'll be half price. That's just good customer service. Fishing's fishing, but sometimes you got to go the extra mile. So that's just what McFarland Fishing does when we have to, and sometimes even when we don't have to. So, but anyways, what are we still catching them on? I am still catching a few fish. Before I talked about this, I actually kind of suspected that after 2 weeks of a south wind and the fish get into a pattern and they get set up and bam, everything changes yesterday. Yesterday was tough with the east wind. I made an assumption this morning that it'll be okay today. I thought that the conditions aren't bad. It's not a cold front. We didn't get flooded. There was nothing major and dramatic. So I thought 24 hours, the fish will just kind of readjust and reset up to this eastern wind. They didn't. When us guides are calling each other, saying hey, how you doing? It says a whole lot. So relative to the lake, a little bit tough right now. What did catch the fish? If you've been following me, every time it does get tough, I get away from the big jig. I get away from the big worm. I'm still throwing it. Past couple days, I still have caught a few fish on the Santone football shaky head, 7/16 ounce with the Magnum trick worm, Zoom Magnum trick worm in the color African Special. The best fish today came on that bait. Numbers are way down, and the bites are few and far between. When they do bite, they're biting so finicky. Big bass do not nibble. Big bass don't peck. They usually inhale and swim away. And even some of the Lake Fork specials that we caught yesterday and today, you couldn't hardly tell they were there. The bite was so faint and so light, and you had to go super, super slow. So the other bait that I really like to run when it gets real tough is the Santone finesse jig. Downsize, 15-pound test. I'm usually using the small craws, but I put the Rage chunk on this morning, and I changed the color. I got away from the spicy craw. I got away from PB&J, and I went to what they call the natural crawl. Santone's natural crawl has a little bit of green pumpkin and a little bit of orange. There's something about that orange as a trigger color on fork. Perfect brush pile jig, and that's more or less where I'm throwing it. I'm in the shell beds and in the brush piles, and mostly catching cookie cutters and under 16-inch fish and under. Occasionally, we will catch a big one on that Santone finesse jig. 5-6 pounders aren't always eating big, and a big fish doesn't always eat big. So big's not always the answer. Finesse sometimes, when they don't want to open their mouth, give them something a little smaller, and you might find that at least it'll scratch some fish for you. So, but that's the gist of the week, guys. It looks like my Skeeter FX 2021 is here. Right? It's at the dealer. It's at Diamond Sports. So Fred will set that up next week. He'll get it all put together, trolling motors and everything rocking and rolling, the graphs. Pretty much the same exact setup, a few extra things. I'll tell you about it when I get it. And we'll do a break-in and a 2020 Skeeter FXR review. The next 2 weeks, I have just a couple of openings left. Next Wednesday is open. Saturday, August 8th is open. Those are my last 2 days. After that, I'm shutting down. This boat goes away. The 2020 goes away, and I'll probably end up taking a week or 2 off for the rest of August. So somebody book next Wednesday, somebody book next Saturday. Let's make it an end of the season deal. Private message me, and I might offer you a special. Appreciate you watching. Thank you so much for your faithfulness and following me. Thank you for all those that I see out in the field that thank me for just giving you a silly little fishing report and a rundown. I'm just a stinky little fisherman. I appreciate you more than you could ever like me. So thanks again. Thumbs up if you're enjoying it. Comment below. I have a bunch of great comments and some things coming for those that are doing that. I'm trying to answer them all, and I am going to bring you some videos of breaking things down on the water. But let me get the new boat. Let me get that transition in, and we'll get to that. Appreciate you. I'm Michael McFarland, giving you a Lake Fork rundown for July 24th and 25th.